You may remember last year when 7-Eleven was running a Pac-Man promotion collaborating with Namco Bandai. They had all sorts of Pac-Man promo items, and that's where I got this 7-Eleven trucker cap, and also where I picked up these cool Pac-Man socks. Cool? Yeah, maybe. Well, they're at it again this year, but this time around they partnered with Tetris on the occasion of the 40th anniversary celebration. They've got hats and tees, of course, but the featured prize is this Slurpee cup that also plays Tetris. They were briefly on sale online at 7-Eleven's website, but quickly sold out and now are fetching as much as $130 on eBay. What's it like? Is it worth the asking price? And more importantly, how you can win one for free right after this.
This video brought to you in part by Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions. This exciting and heartwarming coming-of-age Gen X novel is available now. Check the link for more info.
Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Thanks so much for taking the time to click on this video. The 7-Eleven Tetris Slurpee Cup was manufactured by our friends over at myarcade, which is, by the way, how I was able to get my hands on one. So thank you, myarcade. Crossover collectibles like this can be in high demand because you get fans from both sides trying to get their hands on them. 7-Eleven and Slurpee people want it because it's a Slurpee cup with Tetris in it. Tetris fans, on the other hand, want it because it's an out-of-the-ordinary housing for their favorite game. And together, they've certainly done their respective jobs to amp up the demand for this little toy. But before you decide to pull the trigger, let's take this one to the table, open her up, and see what features it has to offer. I'm fairly confident that even if this didn't have myarcade branding on it, just from the box, it'd be pretty clear to anyone who's seen any of their products in the past that this just screams manufactured by myarcade. Of course, we saw their line of Tetris pocket players and micro players and stuff last year, and this looks to be probably a repackaging of that game. It reminds me of what they did for the Oreo Pac-Man that was in the UK. You remember that, where they took the existing Pac-Man game and put it in an Oreo branded enclosure. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, which is the Tetris they've probably had. I'm guessing that's the same software, and placed in this thing. Now, beyond looking like a Slurpee cup, which is pretty cool, lots of Tetris branding on it. The thing that was most notable to me that I'd heard a little bit about ahead of time was how the top glows when you have power to it. The top up here, the actual Slurpee that's overflowing the cup, that illuminates. It reminds me of the ring that's on the GSP controllers and console. I'm guessing, haven't seen it lit up yet, but we'll see. Why don't we get into this then and check it out. Inside we have our collectible Slurpee Tetris toy, as well as a catalog. Looks like this is, last year's catalog with the GSP and all the Pro units. And then a little bit of a manual here, just kind of some basic how to operate your Tetris Slurpee cup. But these are instructions, we don't need those. Let's take a tour of the hardware then. We're going to end here on Tetris, so let's start with the Slurpee part of this mashup. So the entire thing is designed to look like pretty much a full-size Slurpee cup. Now, a small one, not the jumbo, the all-day 44-ounce, super sugar one, but it's got the edging around the top like a cup. It looks, and this is, what is that? That's a decal. So that's a full-color decal with the logo, Tetris logo, some pieces floating around there. Yeah. Oh, and down on the end here, this is the USB-C port, which is thank you USB-C to power this if you don't want to put batteries in it. Up on top you have, I guess it's supposed to be icy. It looks more like soft serve ice cream a little bit. Normally you would, take that little plastic dome and put over that has a hole in the middle to jam your spoon straw down into. Yeah, and I suppose batteries, batteries down on the bottom. And here's a power on-off switch as well. Coming around front then, or maybe back, depending on how you view this, is this flattened side that has a tiny little 1.8-inch screen. Look, this is not the preferred way to play Tetris. This is a cool novelty, right? So at a tiny screen like this, plus how little Tetris is, the buttons looks like this is screen brightness, a start, and then a volume toggle. Down below that we have, just like on the pocket players and micro players, we have the navigation, the D-pad, and then you have a rotate left and right. This D-pad is very rubbery.
very, like, these little nubs there. It's quite a rubbery little D-pad, which is okay, I guess. You got a single speaker down here and then a Tetris logo, and these little candy colored buttons are pretty much, feels like exactly the same buttons we saw on last year's Pocket and Micro players. Now, I mentioned when we were looking at the packaging, this top here, this Slurpee on top. Now, it's supposed to have this rainbow color thing when you have it plugged in. So I'm going to plug it into USB, and then I'm going to lower the lights in the studio so they're not fighting so much, and see how it looks. Okay, this is a little more like natural light. I've turned these lights around me off, so you just have ambient light. A little dark here, but now you can see this rotating color cycling of the Slurpee that's inside of the cup. And whenever you have it powered on, either by batteries and have it on, or plugged in with USB-C, that's always on. So if you want this as a display piece, you can leave it plugged in and it will always sit there looking like this. This might be, I'm starting to think this might be the most attractive part of this, because we know the tiny Tetris is not going to be ideal, as I said, for playing Tetris, but yeah, the rainbow colored Slurpee, I'm not a huge Slurpee fan, and I'm already super glad that I have this and thinking about where I can put it on my set and leave it plugged in. All right, nothing left to do now but get this fake Tetris screenshot off and try out the game.
If you missed the boat on this Tetris Slurpee cup but still need some retail therapy, there's always our merch store. Over at GenXGrownUp.com/merch, you can always find creative and original designs for anything you're a fan of, including, yes, both Tetris and Slurpee. Please do check it out the next time you're in the market, and remember that each purchase goes to support the next video I produce, like this one. Okay, let's go play some tiny Slurpee Tetris.
So I've got it hardwired plugged into the wall with USB-C. You can see I have the power off, and even with the power off, as you can see, the top part continues to rotate color as a display piece, which is pretty nifty. But now let's power it on and try out the Tetris. Yeah, I recognize that boot screen. This is in fact the 8-bit Tetris image that they were using on their little, maybe the Micro, certainly the Nano and the little Gamer V, those guys. Well, decent version, by the way. So is this screen brightness? Let's see. Doesn't appear to change the screen brightness. I wonder if it has to do, is it the brightness of the Slurpee? Oh, it is the brightness of the Slurpee. Look at that, so you can control that. Hey there, it's John from the future. I wasn't satisfied with that description of what this little light button does, this bulb button. I couldn't really tell what it was doing, so I've killed the light so I can really tell. So if you tap the button, it doesn't do anything. It's not brightness. But if you hold it down for like 4 seconds, it turns off the entire Slurpee cap. I don't know a good name for the Slurpee that's coming out of the cup there. And again, tapping it does nothing but holding it down for 3 or 4 seconds. And the Slurpee light comes back on and begins to cycle again. So I wasn't exactly sure what I was seeing, but now we know. And all right, back to John from the past. Volume toggle, of course, and yeah, so let's just come down and try this. It's not terribly loud, but the speaker is forward firing right down here. Make sure it's... Okay, it's actually quite loud. And you saw you can turn the music on and off if you want to. That ghost piece is really helpful. Like with every Tetris, the problem, of course, is that you already have a 1.8-inch screen, and the playable area is like half of that or less, right? But I mean, for a tiny screen in a Slurpee cup, I gotta admit, it already plays better than I thought it would. As with so many of these little gadgets, it's not about whether or not you can already play Tetris. It's not about whether or not this is the best way to play Tetris. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's about, are you enough of a fan to want to have a variety of different Tetris and or, I guess, Slurpee products in your collection? Oh, look at that. Time for a Tetris. Here it comes. Yeah, and I suppose up, I haven't done it, but up should also do just a straight drop. And it does. Yep. And it's filling up. I hope they give me a... Yeah, there's a hero piece. Just in time. Boom. Woo, level up. If you are seeing a little flicker on the screen in the camera, that's just in camera. I'm noticing here on my screen, it looks like it's flickery, not in person. I suspect that's just a frame rate of my camera. The image looks solid. I mean, it is very low resolution, of course, as you can see, but the flicker I'm seeing, if you're seeing it, you should know is not present on the device. Alright then, Tetris and Slurpee fans, let's kill this game, and then we'll wrap it up. Aww.
Now, if you're a Tetris nut, or a Slurpee fan, or possibly both, and this is something you need in your collection, you can always pay the premium on the secondary market, where this little gadget, as we noted, is going for upwards of $130. Or, if you're in the US and Canada, you can enter to win one of 20,000 units that 7-Eleven is giving away as part of this promotion. I will drop a link to their contest website down in this video's description, and while I'm at it, links here and here to some other collectible promo items I've covered recently. I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.